talked this week about how this is sort of the first in a series of games without your World Cup guys, and that this is the group that you're going to have for a little while. What do you say to them after a game like this to sort of encourage them that this isn't going to be what it's going to be like for the next month and a half?
Well, you have to be honest with them first and tell them that, at the end of the day, that goal that we gave up was, something we should have done better on. You got to be honest with them that some of the chances that they created, maybe they could have done a little bit better on. You got to be honest with them and say, look, you guys got to sharpen up in training. Make sure that some of the passes that we gave away unnecessarily in the middle of the park are good or better. And then you have to just challenge them. And that's what I did in there. I just challenged them to say, look, this is a, tough time. And there's only one way we can go, which is up. So they have to put the work in. They have to come ready to work on Tuesday. And, make sure that they're prepared, not just physically, but mentally, to try and correct some of the things that we will show them on tape and, highlight some of the positive things that they did accomplish, some of the chances that they did create.
Awesome.
Start of the second half, it looked like Real kind of came out. Is that correct in terms of they pressed up the field a little bit?
Well, I thought Real Salt Lake did a good job pressing the entire game. That we knew that was coming. Their front four presses. How do we break the press? How do we then get the ball in the attacking half of the field? I wouldn't say it was just, starting off the second half. I just, didn't think we could, hold or sustain possession once we got past their press.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, two of your three subs were fullbacks, kind of push other fullbacks into offensive positions or whatever, either way. What was the thinking behind that, and I guess what can you, what was the thinking behind it?
Well, we had trained a while back with Nuhu and Waylon. It was effective for us last year with Nuhu and Joven. So that was, early in the game, losing Handwalla was a loss because I thought he was doing really well on the left-hand side. The way we had set up the team was, keeping Handwalla wider and trying to, on the other side, have Magnus come in, pinch in. And so I wanted a true lefty to stay out wide and, take people on, get down to the end line. You saw Waylon did put in that, one good cross in the second half. I mean, maybe not enough actions out of that side of the field to be, if I'm looking at it and being honest. But, that was one. And then on the other side, we knew we were going to bring Lamar in at some point. Choices on the bench were a little slim. Jordan McCrary came on and did a good job down in Portland, gave us a burst of, energy, good energy. And pushing Kelvin up a line certainly puts him in a spot where he can certainly cross the ball. I think he's one of our best crossers of the ball. So that was the thinking behind it.
Nico?
Clint is your veteran guy, your DP, only one playing today. Are you getting what you need out of him and maybe on the field and off?
I think Clint has been a very good player for this club, for this franchise. I think he's, nearing the end of his career, and that's not an easy position for him to play. It's not his natural position. So, when you ask that question, when you phrase it in that way, I don't think it's a real fair question to him. I think that you should take him for what he has been, what he is, a good goal scorer. We just need to make sure that he's in the right spots and he gets the right service. That's our challenge. That's been our challenge. When Will was out there, Will does some of that heavy lifting for Clint, and Clint can kind of pick spots and, do his thing. So it's been a challenge, throughout the season with injuries, but, the one to Will certainly is a big one.
Art?
You mentioned the injury to Handwalla. What impact do you think that had on the game today, and then do you have any update on his?
It's a foot injury. I don't have an update for you guys, and I thought it made a big impact in the game. I thought the kid was playing well. I thought he was dangerous. He was breaking people down. That hurt us.
Jeff?
Coach, do you feel that today the team created enough chances and just didn't finish, or do you feel like the team needs to be creating more and better chances?
Well, we need to be creating more and better chances because we haven't scored. So if you look at just the stats, 9 shots from inside the box and you can't score, what do? I mean, Nuhu in the first half, in the 24th minute, he gets way inside the box and Ramondo pulls off a good save. So how do you fix that? How do you make that work? Do you just compliment their goalkeeper, who's been a very, very good goalkeeper for a long time, or do you say, hey, Nuhu, you got to make some plays? That's interesting. Lamar shot header off the crossbar in the second half. What are you going to say? Are you going to fault Lamar for his effort, getting up and heading the ball? The goal was open, hits crossbar. I mean, we had numerous chances inside the box and we can't score. So something has to break for us. As soon as it does break, I think we have more goals in this team. Somebody just has to start the train moving.
Jeff?
Yeah, you mentioned right off the top that you went in there and you challenged the team. How exactly did you challenge them? I mean, I think they know they didn't play well, but how did you challenge them? Did you tell them that they're better than this? Did you?
Yeah, well, I think they're better than this. I think this wasn't a performance up to our standards, but it's all of the little details, Jeff. It's all the small things. What do you do at training? What do you do when you're not at training? At home, what are you doing to make yourself a better player, a good pro, on and off the field? Okay, we'll watch film, we'll do all that, but which are the guys that come up and ask for that little bit of extra? Hey, Jimmy, how did I play today? What did I do? Or, hey, Gonzo, what could I have done better? It's some of the little details that we need to go over with a fine-tooth comb, and it starts with us. I mean, that's the first thing that I'll do, that we'll do as a staff. And, they have to get all the details right, because there was a few too many small details that ended up, costing us a game, costing us 3 points at home.
You have a lot of players, though, that have been around the block in MLS. I assume a lot of them know this kind of stuff by now. Or
sometimes, well, I think it's front to back, the whole team. I think the whole team can do that. Somebody has to lead the charge, and it always starts with yourself. I have to look at myself, and then I have to lead the coaching staff, and then, Christian, Steph, Dempsey, Kim, Marshall, those guys on the field, they have to lead the charge, getting themselves right first, and then helping the team achieve results.
Jeremiah?
What do you think you've learned about the team during this stretch and today that maybe you can use going forward?
Well, if you're looking at the 1-0 losses that we've taken, I could almost pin it down to starting at LAFC. It was kind of an individual mistake by Steph late in the game. The loss to Portland, we Kim Ki-hee out of the game. There was a specific moment where maybe Jordy Delem took the wrong angle, and, there's that individual mistake. There's tonight, I think Kelvin should have just forced him wide. We defend inside out. There's small little details that and it's not the same guy. It's not the same guy, or else you just take him out and replace him. There's just little small things that have cost us games this year. So the positive side of that is that we have been, pushing to try and get results. I don't think any of the guys have quit. So that's the only positive I can have right now.
Back to Matt.
You said all it takes is one goal to kind of open the floodgates, but what is it about your team that you see that makes you think that a breakthrough is imminent here? Because you guys really have struggled to really break that dam for a long while now.
Well, guys like Clint, they're streaky guys. When goal scorers get informed, they score goals. How do you get them in form? That's the question. Is it the training? Is it something else? Is it the service? We'll work on all of those things. Getting as many goal dangerous guys on the field as possible. You know, if Victor Rodriguez comes back and, you know, Magnus gets a few more looks closer to goal, that's what we need. We need Will to get back within the group. I mean, we need some guys that are goal dangerous out on the field. And then the guys that are behind those players, they need to give them the right service, the right passes, the right effort, energy, I think, is there. So it's just finding that right final pass, that right final movement.
Other follow-ups, guys? Nico, you have one?
Yes, Coach, I just wanted to know if you had any players going through Ramadan, and how do you prepare so it doesn't affect those players?
Those guys are fine. If you're talking about Nuhu and Handwalla, they're both good young men. They are not following Ramadan. That is a personal choice that they make, and they prepare themselves for soccer games.
Jeremiah?
Yeah, what's the status of Harry Shipp at this point?
Well, Harry's going to find some time here. He's going to find some minutes here. At some point, we're going to need all able bodies. So, you know, that was a choice I made to start Jordy DeLem. A little bit different look, trying to get in behind with Christian and Alex, but Harry certainly was in the conversation.